In the past couple of months, I've had such a privilege of traveling across 4 nations and 10 cities to serve people from all walks of life with the message of Jesus. I've sat with people in churches and in living rooms and in classrooms around coffee tables and had long walks through parks and streets just talking about this Jesus. And there's so many memories that fill that time. I think about the one young man in Johannesburg who interrupted one of my lessons as the Holy Spirit revealed to him how much he's loved and how much he's accepted. I think of another lady in Hingham, England, who received a touch of the Holy Spirit as we prayed for her to know him. Another young man in a labor camp just outside Abu Dhabi who looked at me with tears in his eyes and a smile on his face as he assured me of the goodness of God. And when I think about all this, all the twists and turns in the unpredictable adventure of following Jesus, I'm reminded of the idea of surrender. And surrender is such a counterintuitive thing, isn't it? And yet everywhere we look, we see it. The bird doesn't fight the wind. The trees don't fight the seasons. The seas don't fight the tides. It's built into the DNA of creation, and yet we rage against it, don't we? As human beings, we're kind of determined to forge our own path, to hustle our preferred future into existence. And some would say that this is the privilege, even the mandate of being human. And there's some truth in that. We are called to co-create, to reveal eternity in the midst of the temporary. But that's not the same as self-determination. That ancient lie offered to us first in the garden, you can determine truth. You can determine what's right and wrong. You can be God. I don't think our insistence on being the captains of our own ship actually give us humanity. I think it robs us of humanity. After all, we've all felt the weight of trying to carry our own destinies, haven't we? And yet, if we just take a lesson from the birds and realize that though we have wings, we are not the wind, then maybe we will learn to fly. If we watch the ancient mountains and the bubbling streams and learn that there is one behind all of this, if we trust ourselves to Him, not carried by the wind, mind you, but by the Spirit who taught the wind to blow, who carved those mountains, who called the birds into existence and put the lights in the sky, then maybe we will learn to fly. It may take some wrestling and we may walk away with a limp, but surrender heals the fatigue of self-determination. And so, as I think about it, as I think about surrender, I think I'm beginning to understand. We are not the wind. We are not God, but we can know Him. And when we trust ourselves to the wind of His Spirit and allow Him to carry us, we will find ourselves on an adventure going to places we least expected. Thank you so much for listening to everything, and thank you for following the ministry of Follower. And if you'd like to know where we're going next and what's coming up, then you can go ahead and subscribe to the latest updates by going to mattlewis.co.za. I'd love to have you as part of the journey going forward. Thanks so much.